People are not going to celebrate all of your choices. Friends, apparently the name of the game this week is empowerment with everything that I've been sharing here and on Instagram. So we're just going to go with that. We're just going to continue on this train because it is so important. A couple days ago, I shared a post on Instagram talking about being mindful and discerning of the advice that we take and that we seek out, and just the value we place on feedback in general. And a thing I wanted to expand on with that is this idea that people are not going to celebrate and praise all of your choices. When you choose to do things a little differently than how they've been done, when you choose to leave something behind, not everyone is going to understand that or understand you or like it or like you. And that is a very tough reality and can be, frankly, really disorienting and lead to a lot of doubt. And I feel like most of us have immediate experiences that come to mind with our friends and family, especially as creatives or having a quote unquote non-traditional career path. Although honestly, what the heck does that even mean? That's a whole other topic. But we're usually, familiar with those people in our lives that, don't really get us or what we're doing. But what can be really hard, and I don't see talked about as much, is when your own peers don't understand what you're doing and don't praise and validate you. When people with the same or similar craft as you who are in your industry or around your industry, maybe it's people that are business advisors or coaches or accountants, so many finance land people, when they don't understand what you're doing or doubt you, that can be really difficult. And I wanted to share a couple ways that I see this showing up, or I guess just how it shows up. So one thing that's really helpful, at least for me to remember, is that if you're doing something new, if you're doing something a little bit differently than it's been done before, or maybe it's kind of been done like this, but not in this industry, if it's new in some way, that's what innovation is. By definition, not everyone is going to get it. If you told your idea to everyone, to like 30 people, to friends and family, and they were all like, well, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. That actually means that what you're doing is not all that new because it's very commonly understood. So if you are sharing your idea around, or, you share it with someone that you meet kind of randomly and you can see that they're confused, or you can see that they're kind of like, don't know about that. That can actually be great. That can actually be a really good sign, because if everybody got it, it's not new. So there are, of course, going to be certain people that it can be very valuable and affirming to have them get it, but you don't actually need everybody's buy-in. You don't need to be explaining yourself to everyone or selling yourself and your work onto everyone. That's not actually your job, and that's not actually a marker of a good idea. And another thing, especially when we're talking about peers and people in our own industry, if they don't get it, or even more than that, they're kind of, you feel like they're doubtful or even looking down on you or discouraging you from doing something, that might be because they are very happy with the status quo. They like the norm in their industry or in their craft, or how things are done, or what the expectations are, and what kind of the unwritten rule book is. They might be really happy with and comfortable with it, and it might genuinely be working with them. Like, that might be a really great fit or model or structure for them. But it's not for you. So again, that's okay because you are trying to do something a little bit different or differently than whatever the status quo is. So someone not understanding what you're doing or not being supportive of what you're doing could just be because they really like how things are and they can't see it another way. And down the line, they might come around, once they see the thing done or built or created, they're like, oh, okay, I get what you were doing there. That kind of works. But again, when you're at, oh man, I have to talk about it like an innovation curve at some point. But when you're at the front of a curve and you're doing something new, there's just going to be a lot of people that aren't going to see it and understand it the way you do. And that's okay. And then third, your choices might cause them to reflect on their own, and that might be uncomfortable for them, and they might get kind of defensive, and those sort of reactions don't have anything to do with you and are more so a reflection of what they would do in a given situation or what their opinion would be or their personal kind of risk tolerance and experience. And that doesn't actually have a bearing on you and what you're doing. So I guess the main thing is that when we're doing what's right for us and when we're, really trying to like build and create an integrity, not everyone's going to get it or like it, and that's okay. And it doesn't make you wrong or your idea or your way of going about it wrong. And then when we are looking for supports in our life, when we're looking for advice, especially if it's in like a business context, it is so valuable to find and have people in your life that above all else believe in you. They believe in you and your capacity and your capability to navigate whatever comes. So it doesn't have to be like, you can have people that don't fully understand your idea or can't fully see it themselves or wouldn't do it that way themselves, but they can like create and hold the space to see that for you and really encourage you to pursue that and celebrate that and just affirm how capable that you are with everything, because not everything is going to work. You're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. A lot of stuff is going to break and fall apart. And when people just have a faith that you will be able to handle whatever comes, that is so, so valuable if you can find that. And what I want to leave you with, you are not always going to get praised for your choices, especially when you are making art and making new things and doing things that are different and taking the back roads. You are not always going to be met with celebration, and that is especially hard when it comes from your peers or within your own industry, and you're actually trying to make things better for everyone. And the people that you're trying to benefit are like, what the heck? What are you doing? Where is this person going? That's really tough. But everyone, not getting it or not understanding it doesn't mean it's the wrong path or the wrong decision. Do everything you can to really anchor into what matters to you and what's important, and getting the right supports in place so that you can build in so much integrity.